trailer for Andor Season 2 is dropped, and the one thing it wants you to know is all cinema is a musical. Music is a central character in TVs and movies everywhere, hiding in plain sight, working tirelessly to capture the emotional spirit of the scene and deepen the resonance of the story. It's always there, playing with our emotions, stirring our passions, arousing our suspicions, stiffening our resolve, and pulling on our heartstrings. The best music scored to film works harmoniously with the scene to heighten the experience, weaving intuitively throughout, subtle, effective, and mostly unnoticed explicitly. A literal unsung hero. But holy shit, was that not the case for the Andor Season 2 trailer. I've not seen a character so jarringly out of place in Star Wars since...
Tis demanded by the gods!
This monstrosity is about as well matched to Star Wars as Kathleen Kennedy herself is.
You were the chosen one!
But Rogue One was a war story, remember? So we're going to war in this spin-off. So we need to go for the rock and roll vibe of the Vietnam War movies of the 80s. I'm all for encouraging creative risk, but this is just ear-grating. How this made it past the Disney focus groups, I don't know. Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It has a tradition of orchestral music, to keep it grand, cinematic, and unlike the everyday radio song. It's special. They could take lessons from the trailer for the movie this particular tangent of Star Wars skewed off from. The music from the Rogue One trailer was a tasteful, tense and stirring riff on the original John Williams score. It starts low-key and builds into a sweeping, ominous swell, layering tension with every note, matching the threat of the Empire before reaching a gripping crescendo. Coupled with the clips from the movie, it was an experience unto itself to watch. It was so good that I feel like I'm still waiting to see the film it promised, the one that never quite materialised on the screen. Of course, that was due to it being a mishmash of two different visions from two different writer-directors in Gareth Edwards and Tony Gilroy, resulting in characters almost unrecognisable from the trailers to the final film. But maybe he's just a masochist that likes the dissonance of two things that just don't go together. The music is meant to work with the visual, to promote it and drive across its emotions, but this gnarly guitar riff has no tonal connection to the thing on screen. It's monotone and one-dimensional, distracting and overbearing, like it's competing with the visuals for your attention and winning. It's more like watching a music video for some shit rock song with a random Star Wars clip reel in the background. Disney has done its best to run the franchise into the ground over the past 10 years, but Rogue One is usually held up by even the more skeptical types to be a rare exception. I disagree. I do like many things about it, and it had a phenomenal ending, but crucially it missed nearly every key emotional beat throughout the story.
Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
Although they're clearly trying to recapture some elements of the Rogue One trailer. Remember this?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
And now...
You're here! You're right here! And you're ready to fight!
Not exactly striking the same note they're looking for there. Andor Season 1 was a similar mixed bag by my account. It was decent, slow and needlessly ponderous much of the time, but it was immersive and serious, and it felt cinematic. I didn't care much for the ending with his mother's funeral, and her death being the call for the rebellion to start on Ferrix. Again, just missed the mark. Just let the mother be the mother. The inclusion of Mon Mothma was a plus. I really did feel the tightrope she was walking, leading a double life as senator and rebellion leader. But the family scenes could have used some work. The husband and daughter just seemed annoying, and I never got the sense that they were really a family she cared about. Ben Mendelsohn is returning as Director Krennic, another character that looked great in the promotional material for Rogue One, but fell well short in the final film. Swinging between petty bureaucratic squabbles with Tarkin over credit for the Death Star, and the over-the-top villainy, growling fiendish lines at Jyn on Scarif's broadcast tower. But maybe they'll do better this time.
I think you overestimate their chances.
The other clue to look at here is the release schedule. 12 episodes being released in batches of 3 over 4 weeks. If they had the confidence to run this over 10 or 12 weeks, they would do it. It would keep anticipation high and prolong subscriptions, creating some much needed buzz for Disney. This is usually what's done at the start of a season, when the first episode is slow and boring, and you'd never watch the next one if you had to wait. So this is either a giant red flag, or maybe it really is about artistic integrity?
I didn't know you were funny.
Maybe it's great. Maybe coupled with the news Kathleen Kennedy will be quitting later this year finally,
So long, princess.
will be the turning point Star Wars needs. But the problems run deep. And after a decade of mismanagement, it'll take more than a new manager bounce to get Star Wars back to producing the note perfect stories that we all want. So, we'll see. We will see.